This week in Jamaica Now,
Labor rights, are you ready?
JLP Conference gets massive crowd support. Government to forego $1 billion with 100% increase in duty-free allowance. Police lashed for incident in which a cop knelt on a child during a traffic stop in St Mary. And dengue cases in Jamaica passed the 1,000 mark. I'm Neville Graham, and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaica Labour Party, JLP supporters, turned up in massive numbers for Sunday's public session of the party's 80th anniversary conference ahead of looming local government elections. The strong turnout was visibly larger than the 13,000 the police estimated for the public session of the opposition People's National Party, PNP, in September.
Labor rights, are you ready? Are you ready? Today, we are gathered at the national arena, and I want from early 25 minutes past 11 to advise persons that if you're not close to the arena, don't try and come, because the place sell off with labor rights. It costs.
Among the highlights was the announcement that Firebrand Councillor Venetia Phillips has switched allegiance, joining the ruling JLP. Phillips, a longtime councillor for the Pepin division in St Andrew Eastern, has had an acrimonious relationship with the opposition People's National Party, PNP.
Decision was finally made over the last month. I have been engaged for the last 2.5 years by colleagues of the Jamaica Labour Party and members of the leadership. But I didn't want it to be something that was kind of a knee-jerk reaction from my deciding to go independent and leave the party. I had a lot to think about. I had to think about why I was there, and I had to think about what is it that I want to convey to Jamaica by my actions as a representative. Having looked at the PNP, you will agree with me. It is not the organization, certainly, that you are used to from Michael Manley to today. It is regrettable that I came to the conclusion that the PNP could not be the vehicle through which I could continue to serve Jamaica at whatever level.
PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell told the Gleaner Phillips is now the problem of the JLP. In the meantime, party leader Prime Minister Andrew Holness used the conference to set in motion a partnership for productivity and peace. Holness touched on topics that included economic stability, crime, education, public transportation, the privatization of dumps, renewable energy, climate change, the environment, and a $40 billion road improvement project over the next 2 fiscal years.
What is the next mission for you? We have, by and large, put Jamaica on the path to economic prosperity. The next mission is to put Jamaica on the path to productivity and peace. I want every Labourite to remember that. When we started in 2016, we said we are going to build a partnership for prosperity. The new mission for the Jamaica Labour Party is to build a partnership for productivity and peace. As a Labourite, that is what your mission is. Our mission now is to see Jamaica a productive country and a peaceful country.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says Jamaica anticipates an annual revenue loss of $1 billion to $1.5 billion due to the soon-to-be implemented 100% increase in the duty-free allowance. Dr. Clark announced the increase at the Jamaica Labour Party's 80th anniversary conference.
We're going to take a look at the threshold and the duty-free threshold. We're going to move it from $50 to $100 come next fiscal year.
Shout, 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 shout.
When you come to the airport, everybody bother you. What you buy abroad, you buy this or you buy that. I bother you, I stop you, I make the line long and let the line. We are going to address the threshold. When you enter the airport, it was $500. We're going to move it come April to $1,000.
Meanwhile, Dr. Clark has dismissed claims that the move is an election ploy, stating that it aligns with the evolving structure of Jamaica's economy. And while welcoming plans by the government to raise the duty-free threshold for personal imports, the opposition People's National Party PNP wants the allowance to be increased even further. It's urging the government to consider raising it to $150 US. There could be serious repercussions for a man who impersonated a health inspector while in attendance at last week Thursday's reopening of the popular Crab Circle street food hub. Clad in a plain beige shirt and brown trousers, mimicking the official attire worn by health inspectors across Jamaica, the man, who went by the name Randy Bokto, was accompanied by another male who was similarly dressed. The imposter, whose real name is Casray Gray, conducted interviews with several media outlets and interacted with vendors, at times requesting to see their official food handlers' permits. Although he was not on the program of events, Gray was invited onto the platform by Kingston and St Andrew Municipal Corporation CEO Robert Hill to offer brief remarks on behalf of the Public Health Department. Chief Public Health Inspector Grayson Hutchinson confirmed that the police have been notified about the incident in which Gray and his accomplice, who goes by the moniker Chuck Star, breached the profession's Supplementary to Medicine Act. The pranksters have dubbed their actions a social experiment, saying it was aimed at boosting public awareness of the ease at which public officials can be impersonated. But Hutchinson described their justification as ridiculous. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has cautioned law enforcers to recognize when de-escalation techniques are necessary following an incident in which a policeman knelt on a child during a traffic stop in St Mary last week. The incident, involving an 11-year-old boy, took place after an altercation ensued between the child's father and police personnel and was captured in a now viral video. However, Laureate Adams Thomas, Chief Executive Officer of the CPFSA, has emphasized the necessity of nonviolent resolutions, particularly in interactions involving children.
The police must be able to distinguish between a frightened young primary school student who is responding to a potentially traumatic situation versus deliberate acts of misconduct. When dealing with children in situations like these, it is crucial to redirect their emotions and provide reassurance rather than resorting to force.
The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, and the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau have launched separate probes into the incident. Assistant Commissioner of INDICOM, Hamish Campbell, said the clip showed a disturbing level of aggression. 9 Haitians who were intercepted near Hope Bay, Portland on Monday after fleeing their vessel shortly after landing on the beach in Long Road on Sunday night have been repatriated. The 5 adult females and 4 adult males boarded a Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard vessel on Wednesday at the Boundbrook Wharf in Port Antonio. Attorney and founder of the human rights group Freedom Imaginaire, Marlene Alain, has asserted that the government of Jamaica has violated international law in sending the Haitians home. Alain said Freedom Imaginaire had requested precautionary measures from the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, and the Haitians should not have been sent home while the request was under study. On Monday, the Portland police launched a search for the Haitians after they landed in the dead of night and abandoned their vessel on the beach. The police managed to intercept a taxi near Hope Bay, and the 9 Haitians, including one who was residing in St. James for more than 2 years, were discovered aboard the vehicle. They were taken into police custody and later screened and processed by health officials. It is still not clear how many Haitians landed in Long Road. The Integrity Commission has recommended that 4 Petrojam employees be charged for failing to file their 2019 statutory declarations. The agency's Director of Corruption Prosecution, Keisha Prince Kamika, concluded that the employees of the state-owned oil refinery breached Section 43, Subsection 1A of the Integrity Commission Act. Her rulings and the results of 4 IC investigative reports were tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Prince Kamika's recommendations to charge Administrative Assistant Cheryl Blair, Terminal Technician Sidney Brown, Process Engineer Michael Wilkinson, and Customer Service Representative Wayne Salmon followed a referral from the Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson. House Speaker Juliet Hollis said on Wednesday that civil servants who are uncomfortable with the publishing of their names in such reports should seek to have their concerns heard by the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act.
I do understand the concerns that some of them have put, and I believe that the lawmakers' intent was the protection of civil servants and indeed all persons in respect of their reputation. However, the ruling and the tabling of the report, as indicated before, is in keeping with the laws. Notwithstanding that there are concerns, civil servants are recommended to formally participate in the governance process by writing to the chairman of the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act and raise your concerns formally there. As Speaker, I would not be able to respond to you. You may go through your various staff organizations or your unions and do that submission.
Holness also urged public servants to file their statutory declarations on time. In the meantime, Petrojam Limited says it has instituted several measures to get its workers to file their statutory declarations. Sanjay Elliott, the former deputy superintendent in charge of roads and works, who masterminded a close to $49 million scheme at the Manchester Parish Council, is to serve his 5-year prison sentence after the Court of Appeal found no reason to disturb his conviction. The married father of 2 had sought to challenge his conviction on grounds including that the verdict was unreasonable and that the judge had erred in rejecting the no case submission. The former building officer also contended that the Crown had not proven the money laundering charge. However, the Court of Appeal judges concluded that the learned parish judge did not err in arriving at the verdicts in this case. Following the closely watched case, which made national headlines in June 2016, Elliott was convicted of several fraud-related charges and sentenced to a total of 5 years at the June 2020 sentencing hearing in the Manchester Parish Court. The charges comprise conspiracy to defraud, obtaining money by false pretense, engaging in a transaction that involves criminal property, possession of criminal property, and an act of corruption. Jamaica has now surpassed 1,000 dengue fever cases. As of November 30, the country had recorded 1,301 infections. The number of Jamaicans killed by the disease has also climbed to 12, with 8 classified as suspected and 4 as confirmed. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says all parishes continue to observe an increase in dengue cases in 2023 compared to 2022, with Kingston and St. Andrew reporting the highest number of infections at 1,232 for the year. However, St. Thomas has the highest rate with 541.4 cases per 100,000 population, followed by Portland, 345.8, Trelawney with 315.5 per 100,000, and Manchester with 310.9 per 100,000 population. The highest number of cases have been observed in the 5 to 14-year-old cohort at a rate of 623.1 cases per 100,000 population. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly reviews of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on your YouTube page, turn on your notification, and subscribe today. I'm Neville Graham, and before we go, budding gymnast Joel Williams brings family pride.
She's self-driven and self-motivated. I didn't choose for her to do gymnastics. She chose to do it. There's always bouncing off of something. So it's so easy for her to train because it's what she actually loves to do.
You know, so as a parent, what do you do to encourage her?
I don't have to encourage her.
At all?
I don't have to encourage her. I mean, there are nights, that we've gone to bed and she'll come and knock on the room door and turn on my light and say, "Mommy, please, can you just come watch me train for 5 more minutes?" So she just doesn't stop. She doesn't even really care to take a break. So I don't have to motivate her because it's just her passion.
What caused you to do this?
Since I was a baby, I loved being on my hands.
What were the things that you did on your hands?
I did handstands, cartwheels, bridges, and some other stuff.